I know the breakdown. Everything is gonna shake now someday. I know the breakdown. Tell me again, am I awake now? Maybe you can find the reason that no one else is living this way. Yeah.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Dead Noise. I'm
What's
Chris,
up?
and with me today is Hugo Ferreira from the band Tantric. How you doing today?
Doing good, man. How you doing, Chris?
So far, so good. You're on this October tour. It's the whole month. Does it go into November at all?
We don't actually stop touring. We just
That's fair.
Do tours and then they change names. But we pretty much will be touring. We're always touring essentially. But yeah, this tour is like a consecutive tour of like 20 dates in a month. So I like that. It's cool. It's better to do that than have to fly home every weekend.
How does it feel to be back in Jacksonville?
I've been here so many times over my whole career. I think this is one of the earliest venues. I mean, I think I remember playing this back in '08, but alongside this place in Flint, Michigan called the Machine Shop, which is a real famous venue too. And this is a real cool venue, no bullshit. Mm-hmm. It's just one of them staples of rock and roll that has provided jobs for us rock and rollers for years and years. So cheers to that, Johnny in the Cut.
This year in November, it's your 25th anniversary as a band. How does it feel like 25 years?
No, I guess it doesn't. But also at the same time, now it's at that point where I don't really remember life without it being, Tantric being involved in it. Well, I mean, I do remember it, but it's just not like, recent memories. So we've done it a long, long time. And I think when you do things that you love, bro, like you do them like day to day, and that's how time passes by, you kind of look back and then you're like, holy shit, all this time passed by. But, it's a good sign that you're still doing you're on the right path, because if you're having a good time doing your job, man, that's a blessing from God right there.
I was about to ask, because, with longevity, you play a lot of the same songs every night. Does it ever get stale for you, or do you feed off of the crowd when they hear like your most...
Definitely not, man. It's my show. That's what I do. And we have a huge catalog, so we can alternate those songs and modify them for the crowd. But it's really the crowd that always makes the show. Essentially, if you got the basic ingredients, a band that knows how to play the songs, a sound man, incredible interviewers, and that's all you really need. And then the most essential part, and any band will tell you, this is always the audience, because the audience is really where you get the voltage from,
And you performed in front of a ton of fans last month, the subject of a little bit of controversy, the Blue Ridge Rock Fest.
Yes.
So I feel compelled...
I kept all the money.
I feel compelled to ask, as someone who was on the inside of it as an artist, what was your experience like at that festival compared to the fans?
I'll tell you one thing. That thing it's a monster, It's, if you've never gone, you should definitely go. It was an incredible honor. I played it several years, and it's awesome to play. However, with those things, shit happens, and I'm sure they're insured for it, and I'm sure that anytime there's shit like that going around, like, people always got to talk shit. But to me, I found it to be like an organization that's did their job right. Granted, we were the only ones that played, but out of the time that we were there, man, we were treated well. The fans really liked it. And honestly, all the other bands that were there, they kind of did these things that, make it played an acoustic or whatnot. So it's all fun. It's like more of the experience of having everybody there,
Yeah.
As much as it is, watching the bands play,
And you're about to be on another pretty big festival next year, a festival on a boat, the
Yes.
Creed Summer of '99 cruise.
Man, that was super cool. Scott called us and asked us to do it, and I think it was obviously it's a great thing to be on, and there's two of them actually, because in those years, in the spirit of '99, we were touring with Creed, and when we weren't touring with Creed, we were touring with Three Doors Down. So, like, to have all three of us in there, man, that's just gonna be cool. and it's gonna bring a lot of memories back. And you know, I'm excited about those. You know, I think that all this time has passed, and we've all somehow survived this music industry, and are still somewhat thriving through it. And God, you know, blessings, count those blessings.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
When was the last time you talked to or seen anyone from any of those bands that you're playing with?
I've seen Scott recently a few times, and I talked to him a little bit, and Tremonti and all those guys. I know them all real well, so, you know, when we see each other, it's few and far between, but, man, they're cool, and we're cool together. You know, we're friends, and, man, I think that I appreciate those bands more now than I ever did before, just because now I know, you know, and it's just like in the beginning, we were all real young, we were all real starting off, and we were skyrocketing to the top really fast. And man, you know, a lot of things happened in those times, and now that all that time has passed by, to reunite with a better mindset in general, just the attitude, a little bit of adulthood, just a tiny bit.
And I think a lot of fans have come to appreciate bands like Creed and like 90s post-grunge bands in general. Johnny and I have always been outspoken Creed fans for our whole lives, but now it's getting really popular to say you like Creed instead of you hate Creed.
Right.
Have you seen that with your band at all?
For sure, but I think that's just the way of the world, you know, the contrarian mindset of like people just like when something becomes very, very famous, very quick, very huge, then there's just people that just hate on it for a while. And then 20 years pass and they realize that their whole soundtrack to their whole life was all of those songs. And now you associate those songs and you're just like, you know what I'm saying? The hate like dwindles and people appreciate it. But my agent was like saying, you know, it's like, this is a great time for bands like you because it's like that 20-year mark where now, you know, your fans have grown up and they have kids and the kids are at the shows, and it's just a cool thing. And, you know, like, you know, Tantric and Creed and Three Doors Down and all those bands, we're family, you know, we're family friendly. We're not like a crazy, I mean, we do some crazy stuff, but it's nothing like beyond the realm of like tongue-in-cheek joking around, you know?
Right.
So, you know, we respect people that bring out their families and make them have a good time.
And on the studio side, it's been a couple years since you released your last album. Have you guys been working on any new music?
Yeah, I mean, definitely have a lot of music already kind of sketched down. And then it's just like, you know, in the music industry, you just don't force things, you know. You kind of just aim a general direction and then adapt as the obstacles come. But, yeah, we definitely, I mean, I'm always going to be putting out records. I mean, that's what I like to do. I like to write new stuff. And I like, you know, to see the evolution of even my own music, you know. But, yeah, so that'll be coming out this year. I mean, maybe it won't come out this year, but we'll be recording it. We definitely got some.
Gotcha. And last thing before I let you go, we have arrived to my favorite part of every interview, and I have a speed round for you.
Okay.
I got 10 questions. You can elaborate as much as you want. You could keep it rapid fire. First question, your favorite song to play live?
Favorite song to play live? It changes from song to song. Fuck, man. Maybe All to Myself.
Favorite city to play in?
Probably Flint, Michigan. I really do like to play there. I mean, I'm from Michigan, where at least I have some roots there. And it seems like the people out there always come out and support us. But, you know, very close second to here.
Hey, the band, artist, or song that made you first want to become a musician?
I don't remember being alive and not knowing that I was going to be a musician. So I would like to say that I'm the trendsetter for myself.
Hey, that's what's up. That's gangsta.
Totally G'd out.
The one band or artist that you want to collaborate with the most?
Man, I like collaborating with everyone. You know, I love doing all sorts of stuff, you know, like I would like to do cross-genre stuff, but man, if you're a buddy and I dig your music and you want to do a song with me, that's always fun, man. It's cool to see that shit. I've always loved collabs as a fan.
Yeah.
You know, I love, you know, gotta love that hunger strike. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Favorite tour memory?
I guess it's the first time when our record went gold. We were playing the Bowery Ballroom in New York City, and it was televised. And I kind of knew shit was like really going down that day, and I was like, this shit is really working. And I remember walking off the stage and my manager having a gold record there, and it was my first gold record I ever had.
Dang.
So that was a pretty good memory.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Your most embarrassing moment on stage?
Man, I've had a lot of those. But I once did a jump in this old VFW from the stage riser to the center of the stage. And this was like a hollow, and I went right through the stage.
Oh my God.
And got stuck in the stage, splinters and all.
Jesus.
And the funny thing was, it was really painful, right? And like the curtain closed, and they had to like jigsaw me out of the motherfucker, right? And that's no joke. And then after they jigsawed me out of there, I was like, let's finish the fucking show, right? Because, you know, young. And we put a piece of plywood over where the hold would have, where it was. And I had these like ace bandages wrapped around my arms where the splinters had gone through. And they were kind of like, there's these metal clips that hold them in, and they were kind of falling apart, and the blood was going through. So I kind of looked like a zombie throughout the whole show, because I had these like.
Oh yeah.
So that was, you know, trying to do that and still keep your cool swag on was difficult.
Is there video of that anywhere?
If there is, I've attempted to buy them, but I don't think there was. I mean, that was right in the beginning of my career, where, you know, like people weren't always doing that. Like the first,
right.
You know, Tantric was started in '99, and the first record came out January of 01, and like back in the day, it wasn't that long ago, but it was like people weren't. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like people brought cameras to the shows, but nobody was just like, you know, filming you, which was great because I did a lot of fucked up shit that first 5 years, and there is, you know, very little evidence of it.
Well, that's good. Your dream tour lineup?
Man, I love touring everywhere. I guess my dream tour would be a world tour with just like all my favorite bands, you know. But I'm more of a fan of, and always have been more of a fan of songs than I am of the bands that make them, essentially. Because, you know, songs are what carry you. You know, the band is just the thing that creates them and stuff. But so it'd be cool to, like, we did like a Monsters of Rock thing. It'd be cool to do like something like that, like, but like a global, like around the world in 80 days.
Like a worldwide festival.
Like around the world in 80 days, and just do like fucking 40 countries, and damn, that would be crazy. That would be something that I'd dig. I like when tours are just back to back. I'm not one of those guys that likes, you know, tour one day. I just want to, you know, get it into the routine. Like the first 3 days when you're back out on the road, you know, you gotta strengthen your core again, your vocals, and, you know, you're like, oh God. But then after you're in shape again, because it does require some being in shape to do it every night, and it's just fun to just knock them out, you know, because just if you're not, you're just waiting around.
Yeah. Well, to that point, is there a certain place that you haven't played yet that you really want to?
Man, I can't say that there isn't many places that I haven't played.
Fair.
But, you know, I'd like to explore other countries that are fans of rock or fans of music, man, that just don't have the opportunity to have bands out there for whatever the reason is. So, you know, I guess that's what I like. You know, I'd like to do some more touring in Brazil and like that area, and obviously, you know, Europe is cool. It's, you know, it's kind of mixed. You know, some days you get great days, some days you get bad days, but it's just a cool experience to tour through that landscape.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Your favorite thing to do outside of music?
I'm a car fanatic.
Oh, really?
So I'm always just buying, fidgeting with cars all the time. I've got a lot of them.
And the last question, always my favorite one to ask, the song you wrote that means the most to you.
Man, they all mean a lot to me because they are real. They're almost every song that I've ever written lyrically is from a real place, and generally the subject has got some gravity to it. That being said, there's a few tongue-in-cheek ones that I've written, but man, it's just like, you know, there's the right song for the right moment in your life, you know, right mood, and and that's how it is when you're like thinking about one of your favorite songs. It's just when you're feeling nostalgic and that song just kind of reinforces that nostalgia, then that's the song that you get, you know. But you know, all songs, they have their time and place. You know, there's songs that I've played a million times that I haven't listened to in 5 years, you know.
Yeah, me too.
So, and every now and then I'll go back and listen to my records and I'll be like, man, that's a great song too. And you really fall in love with these songs. But, you know, they're all, you know, if they're the soundtracks of your lives, imagine how they are to me. They're literally the soundtrack to my life. So it puts me right in that same place. I know exactly where I was, what the actual scenario around the atmosphere of why I wrote that. Because I generally don't write stuff super, super literally, because I'd like to give people the opportunity of putting their own place in the roles of the characters in whatever the song story is. But yeah, all music's great.
Well, just like that, that was everything I had for you.
Cheers.
Was there any closing message to any Tantric fans watching?
Man, just keep on coming to the shows and just support all music in general, because it's one of the most valued things in human existence, but yet very little of it is protected.
Yeah.
And you know, if you love things, you should protect them and support them so they continue to thrive and exist beyond our years.
I like that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Well, thank you so much for the time.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
It's been great talking with you.
All right.
And until the next interview, stay tuned, stay scared.
I'm gonna
and
tell.
I'll catch you later.
I'm gonna tell my Instagram. It's at Tantric Hugo or Tantric Official. Come on, follow us.